welcome to the 6th ever episode of Press A2 Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Hujic, and with me today is Scott McPherson.
Hey.
Mike Murphy.
Hello!
Brandon Williams.
Am I really with you, though?
And Taylor Severn.
Ahoy, ahoy!
Yes, and today we're going to be talking about Hearthstone!
Woo! Can't wait to play.
I think we'll start with asking, how are you guys? And what are you drinking?
Oh, I like that.
Pink lemonade.
Who goes first?
Whoever wants.
Host us.
Fine, Scott.
Host us, Jacob.
Scott, what are you drinking? You pansy.
Pink lemonade.
Michael, how about
Because
you?
that's something
not-
that you want. Yeah, I'm drinking pink.
It's not even hard either. It's just regular
No,
lemonade.
I assumed it wasn't.
It's a softie. I apologize. I've only got a semi over here. No, I am
What I'm
drinking.
here for.
Yeah, gross. I am drinking Fuller's London Pride.
Cool.
It's a beer, in case you're wondering.
Brandon, what about
In
you?
it.
I'm drinking Amsterdam Brewery's Blonde Ale.
Gross.
It's great.
Taylor,
Everything blonde is good.
how's the water?
Ha!
Giggity.
Okay, so first I have real Canadian natural spring water, and when that runs out, I have President's Choice natural spring water.
Oh, you
that
have a
look
backup?
exactly the same because they're glowing.
Which
Guys,
one
I might have to
tastes
be right
better?
back. I need a backup.
Yeah, this is no longer a podcast about Hearthstone. Taylor, which water, in your opinion, tastes better?
They both have their highs and lows, like where like I feel it's good, and then other times I'm like, oh, this is awful, I'm gonna vomit. But really, they're trying their hardest out there, and they're really pushing it to the max with flavor and depth. And I can really say that I prefer the President's Choice because I trust Obama.
There you have it. Taylor,
Guys, I have bad news.
confirmed socialist. Okay, so
I don't have a
seriously, guys,
backup.
we're talking about Hearthstone today. I
Back
know
up. Back up.
it's a game I play a lot ever since it came out. But what about you guys? Taylor, what was your first experience with Hearthstone?
Hearthstone, the card game that Blizzard came out with that no one expected. It was crazy good. Amazingly good.
Amazing.
I got into the beta pretty late, and I played it, and I was like, yeah, this feels good. And the problem with that is that I don't like facing people in games. That's a real big problem I have. And Hearthstone doesn't offer much outside of facing people, so while it's a really good game I enjoy, it's not for me. So I don't play it a lot, but I watch people play it a lot, and I know quite a little bit.
Yes.
Quite a little bit.
Quite a little.
I like the words you chose.
Yeah, good words.
Brandon, what about you? When did you get into Hearthstone?
I got into the beta, I don't know. I got in before you, I know that. We were at school one time, and
you and
I was
Taylor
like, oh my
got
god, I
into
got
the
into the beta!
I did not get into the beta.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I
thought you
had
did.
I had to wait until it was in open.
Tisk, tisk.
Oh, tisk indeed. But yeah, I played it a little while through the beta. And then I think once you got it, we played a couple times, and it's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good card game. Kind of like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Meet each other with
Not the
Blizzard
slightest,
characters.
but okay. I completely disagree with that 100%.
Yes, but we
Well-
will get to that.
Okay.
Anything else with in that regard?
No, I don't think so. I'll get to more later.
Okay. Mike, I know your experience with Hearthstone is pretty.
You
Limited.
downloaded it, right?
He's like this big.
He's
That's
got me
the
beat.
length of it.
He did
The
it.
length
got
of
me
his
beat.
experience.
He did it a couple days ago, actually.
Yeah, last Friday to be exact was the first time I downloaded it, and I played it that night and a little bit on Saturday, and then I haven't touched it since.
Yay! You have it on iPod.
Yay!
You could be literally playing it right now. So could I, but I,
I
have
could
a billion
literally be
recording
playing it right
softwares going on. So
And then he could screen share his. It's Hearthstone playing.
But I think it's boring.
Yeah, you don't like it?
No.
I mean,
you didn't get out of the tutorial.
You didn't get out of the tutorial, to be fair, but it is.
I did get past the tutorial. I was in like the practice area. I was in a practice area, like trying to unlock characters.
Okay.
Okay.
I unlocked
It's been a while,
unlocked
I
a
think.
couple characters, but I was like, "Fuck this!
Fuck you, shit.
I want to shoot something."
Yeah, it's
Okay,
not an FPS.
Tristiana.
Scott, what about you?
I didn't download it at all, so
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't even download it?
He's a
And you were
weird
waiting
card
for us
game.
to play with you, and you didn't
Yeah,
even
I was
download
waiting for like a confirmation of yes, I will play with you, and then I
I
was
said
like,
I would play with you if you downloaded it on Sunday.
I was
and you
working
never
on
did.
Sunday.
I feel
Oh,
like a
okay.
distinct hindrance to us playing with you is you not having the free
Listen,
game.
I wasn't gonna download it, and then like have you not?
Mike, I really hope you're sharing very private information. It looks like a dead cockroach. I'm not sure what I'm
It
looking
does.
It's
like a
called
Dragonite.
Dead Heroes.
Oh,
So
no.
almost.
To all of the listeners, I have a webcam. Everyone's looking at webcams right now, but I don't know if video's working. But anyways, I tried to download Hearthstone onto my phone.
Because you didn't know what it
And-
was.
I didn't know what it was, and I just downloaded the first thing that looked like it, and it's actually called Dragon Heroes. It is ridiculously similar, but it's not the same.
No.
I guess we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But
No, I think we could talk about it. I mean, it's your first experience with Hearthstone was not playing Hearthstone.
was actually a bootleg version of Hearthstone.
So we were at a friend's house, and I'd asking Mike, "Hey, have you played Hearthstone yet?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't really like it. I'm not sure why we chose this game." And he started playing it
agree.
on his phone, and I'm like, "You're not playing Hearthstone now? You can't be. That's physically impossible as of the time of this recording." And yeah, it was a bootleg version that was pretty shit compared to Hearthstone.
Oh yeah, it was pretty terrible. There was fucking like typos and shit in the narrative, and it just and the gameplay was
Shit? Is that the word
Yes.
you're looking for? Yes.
yes, it was yeah. I was trying to think of something a little more intellectual, but yeah, shit pretty much just sums it up on the fucking T.
Really,
Mike,
really
this isn't
wholesome.
an intellectual podcast, so just use any kind of word you want.
Excellent.
Like Flim Flam.
Exactly. Flim flam's a good word.
It was complete flim flam is really what it was.
That sounds like a compliment to me. I don't know. It's...
You are so flim flam today.
Shucks.
It does kind of sound like a compliment.
It does actually. Wait, what are we talking about?
We're talking about flim flam.
We're talking about made-up
Bootleg
words.
Hearthstone.
Welcome to the Made-Up Word Podcast. No, we're talking about Hearthstone. I think we can move on to one of the aspects of the game which really grabbed me at first. Oh yeah, I should probably mention.
Where
that
did it
first.
grab you?
Do you have a doll?
Appropriately.
My first
Whoa.
experience with Hearthstone was as soon as it went open. I'd been following it for a while. Lots of the different YouTubers I watch were playing it. Husky.
Not sponsored by Husky, by the way.
No, I don't even think he knows I exist. Probably not, actually. So yeah,
We'll get there.
I was playing it then, and I really liked it because before then I was playing StarCraft a whole bunch. Basically, my day was go to work, come home, and play StarCraft. But after a while, I stopped having as much free time because of reasons.
I figured it out.
So I needed a game that was still strategic, but didn't take up as much of my time because, especially in the lower leagues, StarCraft matches can take up half an hour or more, just a single match. Whereas Hearthstone, if a match
'cause
goes
you're not-
half an hour long, it's an outlier for sure. So
It's because you weren't six pooling every game, Jake. Come on.
Come on,
You
man.
kill some of your drones and then you'd mine.
No, I want
The
battle
six pool.
cruisers every game. So yeah, Hearthstone definitely filled a need for me of just a quick strategy game that I can play at any time. And I've been playing it, I want to say, on and off pretty consistently. Especially with the new expansion that just came out, that really sucked me back in.
Goblins
What do you
and
think of the new
gnomes.
expansion
Um,
compared to what it was before that?
well, I think to preface that conversation, we should start with Taylor. You're right. Brandon is wrong. If anything, Hearthstone is more of a combination of Magic and honestly, I want to say the Pokemon trading card game.
No, oh god, just stop saying it's a combination of stuff. Hearthstone is Hearthstone, it's a card game. Card games have similarities. That doesn't mean they're combinations of other card games.
We're trying
Hearthstone.
to help describe it for people who have no clue what it is.
So Hearthstone
Like me.
is a card game. If you ever played Pokemon or Magic, it's similar. How about that?
It's not similar to Pokemon, maybe Magic. I haven't played Magic.
Where basically you play minions or creatures, and like Yu-Gi-Oh, you're trying to attack the person's health and bring him down to 0. Is how you win. But yeah, Brandon, what was your question again? Oh, how do I like goblins versus gnomes? So,
Yes.
Especially compared to the original vanilla Hearthstone.
yeah, so it just came out, but obviously there's already a really distinct flavor.
Well, it didn't just come out.
It was like what, a couple
A
days
week.
ago? A week.
Oh,
No, I mean like the original game. Like it's been out for
Oh yeah, it's been out for almost a year now.
probably 2 years with the beta, if you want to count it.
I don't want to count it because I wasn't in it.
Well, I was in it.
Ooh.
Bitch.
Thrown down.
I
well,
can,
Brandon, you don't exist anymore.
There's a little bit of vinegar
No.
going on. You know?
But yeah, the compared to vanilla Hearthstone, GVG is a lot more about random elements. Like all the cards are something like 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy, but it's a really strong card, or summon a
That's more
random
like-
monster. All the ogres are super cool. Just like it's all about random effects. When this monster dies, summon another random monster. So it's definitely just about random elements, which I think, at least for me, makes it a lot more fun. I know there's lots of people who don't like it because it's like, oh, it takes away from the strategy of the game. Like I want my cards to know exactly what they do each time I play it. And then that just becomes like a numbers game really quickly. Whereas I feel like with the random elements, it's more. You have to use more strategy on the spot. It's not just like, oh, this is mathematically the best choice. It's like, well, whatever this card does, how will I respond to it? And I feel like that's more challenging and skill based as opposed to just like I can do math really well. So that's why I think GVG changed Hearthstone. Although it's more random, it also made it a lot more skillful and fun.
I'm gonna disagree with you because randomness does not make it more skillful at all.
It's about who has the biggest horseshoe wedged up their ass.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That is true. I do have an amazing game story I'll share later, if I remember.
Well, that
Anyway,
the randomness, I want to say, ties into something about Hearthstone that's very key, and that it's a very fast game that goes by quickly. As you said, Jacob, like 30-minute games don't exist.
Yeah, they're usually
like
around 15,
5
10.
to 10-ish minutes.
Yeah.
They're really fast.
Unless you're playing Priest.
And
Or me.
because there's these random happenings in the game, it spices it up. And since it's happening so frequently in so many different games, if you have one bad game, you can just play another game and it will go differently even. Completely different.
That's true. I don't think that takes
yeah.
away from the fact that it makes it more or less skillful. But yes, I do agree with you.
Skill has nothing involved with randomness, Jacob.
How do you react to the random elements? Because it's not all random.
The reacting, I can see you saying that, yeah, but like the inherent randomness, no.
I mean, because like there are Hearthstone tournaments. Like the best players will win because they can react better to the random elements. More often.
Not
They can
necessarily.
still
No,
get,
not-
yeah, they
not
can
true,
still get
not
screwed
true.
over. Don't get me wrong.
They
But
can
9 times out of 10, well, maybe less. 7 times out of 10, the better player, the more skillful player, will win.
No. I'd argue that since it's a card game, it's either you get the cards you need or you don't. And that's a bunch of randomness inherent to just being a card game.
I'm still going to
agree with
disagree,
that.
but I think we should probably move on. Brandon, you were going to bring something up?
Yeah, this isn't fucking
Well,
damage.
I was gonna kind of disagree, but I mean, like,
With who?
With everyone.
I don't remember who said
Everyone.
the thing,
Hearthstone's shit.
but
You're
no,
you're a bunch of idiots. It's a first-person shooter. God.
I like. Yeah, it is a first-person shooter. No, I like Hearthstone actually. I don't think it's shit, but I do believe that it's not all luck, like you were saying. There's definitely a skill aspect to it in regards to trying to figure out what your opponent's doing and how to be able to counteract that at the same time.
Yeah, there's lots of mind games that go on in StarCraft in StarCraft too, but in Hearthstone, especially at the higher levels. I mean, like where Taylor, you and me play is like piddling compared to the higher levels of it, where it's like
Yeah,
this
I've
whole
seen some
metagame
tournaments
and all
which
this
are
stuff.
pretty ridiculous.
But moving away from that, I think we can kind of agree to disagree. There's a lot of random elements and skill involved in Hearthstone.
I'm not saying there is no skill.
Okay,
I'm just saying the inherent randomness does not equal skill.
fair enough. What I wanted to mention was one of the first things that grabbed me about Hearthstone was the art style, if we can talk about that. Because, Mike, you can attest to this. Compare Dragon Heroes, was it?
Yeah.
To the aesthetic of Hearthstone.
Well, obviously, Hearthstone looked a lot better, but I have to say this bootlegged version isn't that bad looking.
Wait,
I mean, whoever did it actually looks like a half decent, like appearance wise, it looks like a half decent game.
okay.
But when you start playing it, the gameplay is what sets them apart. I mean, for example, in Hearthstone you have magic cards, or I don't know,
Spells.
Are they
Yeah.
okay? Spell cards that have certain effects on babble and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Whereas this Dragonstone game doesn't have that.
It's
There's literally
just creatures.
it's only creatures,
And-
and basically the only thing you're doing is throwing creatures on the field, and you're just waiting for them to attack whoever the hell they want to attack. You can't even pick which guy you want to attack with, like, which minion. It doesn't even fucking matter. And there's like a cost value to throw cards down. They both have it. It's like what's it called? Manga? Mana?
And
You just have to burn your favorite manga every time you want to play a card.
Yes. Hey, shut up. But anyways, yes. It's in the beginning of Dragonstone, you get like 5 mana. Or their version of mana. So you can throw down any
Dragons.
freaking card you
Dragon
want,
stones.
basically.
Dragon Balls.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Blue crystal.
And-
Dragon
It
Ball.
doesn't even fucking matter. So basically, and you're first. In the beginning of every battle in Hearthstone, there's a coin flip where you can either go first or second, and there's positives and negatives to each.
Yes.
Yep.
But in Dragonstone, there is no coin toss. You're always the first person, to play.
So it wasn't against people; it was just against computers.
It's literally
Yeah.
just against computers. And it's stupid. Because basically you're just like, throw down a card. Okay, wait my turn. Okay, he threw down a card. Throw down another card. Okay, I threw down another card. Throw down another card. Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, I won. Okay.
Sounds amazing, actually.
No.
Yeah, Hearthstone does work a little bit differently. It's free. Go try it out if you don't know how it works. But when I was talking about the art style, more what I wanted to bring up was Taylor, Brandon, you have more experience. Just the fact that like when you play a card, like this little token thing falls down, it kind of rattles around, and then it becomes the minion. If it has taunt, then like this shield pops up. Like all those little effects, or like you can click the sides of the board and it'll do random stuff. Like all those effects really made the game feel like cohesive and fun. Like because like everything interacts with the board in some way.
It's
make
like you
sense?
are present there at the board.
Yeah, almost.
That's
And you can fuck around
That's
with
a
it.
different direction I thought you were going to go, but okay. And that's just inherent of it being a Blizzard Entertainment game. They love to just polish their games and make them look great and put the most incredible detail into the game, and that's just a very Blizzard trait.
Yes.
That's really...
Absolutely.
And it
you're cutting out. You want to say that again?
It's a very Blizzard Entertainment thing where they put so much polish and so much detail into even the tiniest things, and it really stands out in like all of their games that they do.
I have to agree. So yeah, that was the one point I wanted to bring up.
And now Jacob's done for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm out. See ya.
That was the one thing.
But
I have to say, that didn't really make any difference to me. I did not really care. Like, okay, I can fuck around with this shit over here, that I can do this stuff over... I can knock a little gem out of the skeleton's eye or whatever.
But
I don't give a damn.
But
Well, it's kind of nice to fool around with things while you're getting your ass beat.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of provides you
I'm
with
gonna
some kind
fucking
of
die.
entertainment. And so you just kind of sit there like, well, I'm getting my ass kicked.
yeah.
So I'm
I
just
might
going to
be-
sit here and start
I
a
might be
fire
getting
at this little
horribly
thing.
beaten,
Or pick up
but
these
fuck
rocks
this
and
window
throw them in a
particular.
catapult.
It just gives you something to do with your hands. It's like having like just something that spins in your room, and like you'll just be sitting there and you'll whack it to spin it. Not that you're like really enjoying the spin. You're like, oh my god, it's fucking spinning! Holy shit! It's just something to fucking do. Just spin.
Yeah.
So basically, Blizzard designs their games for kids who have fucking, like, ADD and shit.
Yep.
No, it's-
Wow, that could light a fire over. Oh my god, there's a fucking gem over here.
I'm saying that's exactly
dirt.
what, that's not what it is. That I said it's not that. It's just something to do with your hands while you're waiting for, like, say your opponent
for
to
your
make their
turn,
move.
yeah, basically.
So you don't touch yourself.
Yeah, because like people have problems touching themselves in Blizzard Entertainment. The one thing they stand by is they don't want people touching themselves.
Mm-hmm. That is in their manifesto.
They want to bring people together so they can touch each other.
Yeah.
Good God.
That's Blizzard's manifesto.
Bringing gamers together to touch each other.
Which,
Touch each other's mana
is there
crystals.
like a whole bunch of... There's like, on several different occasions, there are like couples who meet over Warcraft and shit and actually get married.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Speaking of actual manifestos, where Blizzard doesn't care about the connecting people. One thing that they keep core to their games is they say it's easy to learn but hard to master, and Hearthstone is a very clear example of this, where it has very simple rules, simple effects, but to take them all together and make a winning deck and come out on top, that is hard to completely master and be able to trump any sort of situation.
Unless if you're a TB and you buy 600,000 packs.
That is one thing I want to address. The fact that many people feel, because it is a free-to-play game, lots of people feel that it is pay to win. Because, obviously, how it works in this game is, Scott, basically, you can't buy specific cards. You can buy packs of cards.
Yeah.
Technically, you kind of can't get specific cards, but okay.
Yeah, I'll get to that. But basically how it works is that, like, you get a pack, like a random pack. Like, imagine opening a pack of Pokemon cards. And you can either do that through gold that you earn by just playing the game normally, or by actual money. So obviously if you drop like $40 in packs, I can't remember exactly how many packs that is, I want to say 20, you'll get a lot of cards, and that gives you more options to put in a deck. A deck can only be 30 cards, but you have a bigger variety of cards to put in there. But some of the best cards in the game, well, not objectively, but like
The ones
best
with
value.
really powerful and odd effects.
Well, not out of like powerful on effect, just like cards that are always good, no matter when you play them, like Chillwind Yeti, cards like that. You get those right from the get go, like some fairly strong cards and cards that can counter other things. If you want to make a really good synergy deck, like a Murloc deck or any other deck, you're going to have to grind or pay. But the basic cards they give you are enough to get you started. If you pay money for extra cards, cool. I play it a fair bit, but I haven't spent any money on the game. and I have quite a few cards. I mean, yeah, I play it a lot, but it's a free game. Had I spent $60 on it, I would have quite a few cards that I can build a decent deck with.
Oh my god, a holographic Blastoise!
There's holographic cards in the game, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
That's a thing?
Mm-hmm.
They're golden and have animations.
Yeah, so they'll kind of move.
Just like how Jacob showed.
Yeah, like that.
Unlike how Mike showed.
Yep.
The Penetrator is not a
But
card.
I'd say, like, if that's your complaint about Hearthstone, then I laugh at you. Because that's just inherent to the genre of game they are. It's a card.
Yeah,
How are
all
you going
card
to get
games.
more cards if you don't... How are you supposed to acquire them without buying them? And I think, like, Hearthstone even giving you a free way of getting those cards, like, that's a pretty
It's way
big
better than Magic. You
step.
can't get Magic
Well,
cards for free unless you pick them off the ground.
That's like any free-to-play game. Like even Team Fortress has that kind of aspect to it. Like you can just play the game forever and get all the really cool weapons, or you can just buy them.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like that's just like a free-to-play, like a standard for free-to-play games. Like
Yeah,
definitely.
the standard is being able to do the little microtransactions.
Yeah, micro-purchases, yeah.
But I'd say, like, having to pay for cards and saying it's pay to win, that's just a card game thing. And Hearthstone
That's true.
inherently being a card game,
Yeah.
you get that.
That's true, yeah. I could see that being a thing. Yeah, for sure.
During gameplay, like, I'm asking this to the more experienced players, obviously, who've
Scott?
played the
obviously.
actual game. Yeah, Scott. Yeah, he's fucking the veteran over here.
Yeah.
Reading his
He's playing it
phone.
right now.
Playing Pokemon, actually.
Good.
A giant middle finger to the podcast. Okay, so what
I'm contributing where I can.
okay, respectably. Okay, good for you. Excellent. But I
Yeah,
was
wait,
gonna
question.
ask.
Mike, you
What?
were saying, God damn it.
I'm sorry. Okay, so to the people who've played it, I noticed in other free-to-play games, especially like Tapped Out and Family Guy, A Quest for Stuff, like shit on your phone and stuff like that. Do they? I'm gonna refer to it as like the fish and the hook. Do they throw shit out there like, act now when you can get such and such card for $2.99 when the normal
No.
price is $5.99?
No, Blizzard definitely does not do that.
No.
They don't
The
do
only
that.
times they do that is like, hey, we just released something. If you play right now within the first month, you'll get something free, like free pack.
Yeah.
Here
Oh,
you go.
true. Like the just recent expansion or whatever.
Yes,
Delta.
you got
Um,
free GVG packs.
Yeah, Mike, once you finish your practice rounds and you get into the actual game,
He
when
said once, like he's actually going to finish it.
you'll have a couple packs that they just give you because you played during the launch event.
He's gonna play and complete it. He's the completionist. He's gonna get
Yes.
all the achievements for it and complete it, and he'll probably resell the game to buy the next game.
Yes, Hearthstone. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think what this topic opens up is the topic of just microtransactions in general. We might save this for another time, but like, what are your guys' experiences with free-to-play games? Scott, can you start with you?
Well, the one that I definitely invested the most time into was Team Fortress 2.
Mhm.
I played a lot, and it sucks because like I don't know about Hearthstone, but like for Team Fortress, it kind of forces you to make microtransactions because you get all these locked crates, and the only way to
I
get
have one.
keys for the crates is to buy them
Yeah.
or trade them with other people. But in order to trade items, you need to have at least made one microtransaction,
Yep.
That's
or
the
have
fucking-
actually bought the game.
That's the fish in the hook right there.
Yes, that definitely is.
Hearthstone does not give you locked packs.
Yeah,
that,
that's cool.
You need to pay.
It's like,
Mike,
this
do you
is
have-
a really awesome pack, but you have to pay to unlock it.
Yeah.
It's a pack with
there's
a
like
guaranteed
4
legendary.
legendaries in here. Yeah, no.
Golden legendary.
Mike, do you have?
And they
anything?
have fire that shoots out of their asses. Awesome.
Straza?
Well, that's the Flame Leviathan. But
Liquid shits for everybody.
Oh, those aren't nice. They're not.
They really aren't.
No.
2
Mike,
days off
do you
work.
have any
Thanks very
experience
much.
with free-to-play?
Oh no.
Sorry, repeat the question.
Do you have any experience with free-to-play games?
Just on my phone, really.
Yeah. Brandon? Sorry,
yeah.
Mike.
I do, but not a whole lot. I mean, I played Blacklight Retribution, which is it's a pretty decent first-person shooter, free-to-play. Other than that, I played a RPG game. Well, actually, it was an MMO RPG. It was called Ashen Empires, way back in the day. That was pretty fun. I mean, you could play it for so long, and then it forces you to kind of buy into it, kind of thing. Other than that, I don't have much experience with free-to-play. Like, I dabbled in Team Fortress, but barely any. The biggest experience, I guess, is just with Blacklight. And I didn't really play it much, because I wasn't a fan of it. But we'll get into that in another podcast, I think.
Probably. Taylor, what about you?
Let me preface this words by saying that when I'm playing a video game, I like to be doing something. I like to be working towards some goal. And usually that can be like an achievement. I'm trying to go for an achievement and stuff like that. And what I really like about the free-to-play model is it gives you something to work towards. Because they can give, like, for League of Legends, for example, they have the in-game currency and the real money currency. And I can play games and work towards getting that in-game currency so I can get more things. Or I could buy things, I don't want to do that. And as long as the getting things feels rewarding and I'm, like, getting it fast enough that I'm able to be, like, see rewards that I can get and achieve them, then I'm happy with the free-to-play model.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've played quite a few free-to-play games. I mean, Hearthstone, Blacklight Retribution, like you mentioned. What was that Exiles game?
Path of Exile.
Path of Exile.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. I played a lot of Path of Exile.
So
That's a great game.
There's quite a few free-to-play games that I've played. That's just mentioning a few.
I completely forgot about Path of
Ridiculous.
Exile.
Basically, how free-to-play works is you can almost break it down in a couple tiers. Like League of Legends is another one. One of the top tiers is actually where League of Legends and Dota and stuff like that are, which is basically you can get microtransaction purchases, but they're usually they're costumes. They're just cosmetic. They don't affect the game whatsoever, which most people agree is probably like the fairest free-to-play games. Under that is probably something like Hearthstone, or maybe Blacklight Retribution, which is where you can buy kind of like boosts, more or less, where you gain experience faster than other players by spending money. So like a player who's not buying those at all can still get that awesome gun in loadout or whatever you're playing.
But it takes a lot
longer.
And it's a lot harder as a player to play against people who have those boosts and all those guns.
Because that is true, but because good games in that category the starting weapons will usually be very, very balanced, and the other options you can unlock will be like they're really good at this one thing, but they're much worse than another. That kind of thing. Like it's kind of asymmetrical balance.
Yeah, I think we should stay away from the topic of Blacklight because I hate that game with a passion.
I quite enjoy it, but it's gotten a little weird now. But yeah, kind of Blacklight really started out that way, and then slowly it's kind of devolved into, hey, if you don't have a really good gun, you're fucked. But yeah, and then the worst tier past that is basically pay to win, which is I kind of want to say World of Tanks, but I've never really played it. But I do know that you can buy gold ammunition in that, which is, hey, spend money, and when you do, you literally do more damage. So if you're not doing that, you're gonna get fucked.
You're boned.
So those are kind of the three tiers. Cosmetics, like non-gameplay affecting, stuff you can get through grinding or paying, or completely pay to win. And I think Hearthstone falls in the second category.
It's boring.
I was about to sneeze and didn't. I was upset.
That's the worst.
I threw off your sneeze with my bombshell.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Mine's literally okay.
Morbid Murph thinks Hearthstone is fucking boring as shit.
Oh
God!
Maybe,
In a podcast about Hearthstone.
I mean, unless one of you guys has another topic, I think we can move on to maybe our last, which will be discussing Mike. Why don't you like it? And then Taylor and Brandon, why do we like it?
And then we'll
Us
just
explaining
ignore
why
Scott
Mike
because he's
is
playing
wrong.
Pokemon.
So maybe we'll start
Well,
with how about this?
I can tell you why I didn't play it.
Because you're an asshole.
There you go.
Because you're a very busy asshole.
No,
He
because
doesn't
he's
have
on
that
my
much
side.
download on his internet. He didn't want to spend
He
that much.
technically is on your
device.
side right about now. I mean, if we were to divide it right in half, I'm like in the middle, and then there's Scott and Mike, and then Jacob, and then Taylor. So yeah, this is
Jacob,
pretty accurate.
high five, high five, Jacob.
Internet high
Don't
five.
do it.
No, damn it.
Oh my god, that was good. That was good.
But okay, so I think we'll start it with me, Brandon, Taylor. We'll try and convince Mike, and if we haven't by the
And
end
me.
of our spiel,
You
then
can try
Mike
and
can tell
convince
us
me
why
to
he
play
still
it.
doesn't like it, or we can try and convince Scott.
He's
Yeah,
morbid Murph, so unless I'm like brutally killing something with blood splitting out, he's not gonna care.
I'm pretty sure there's an Acolyte of Pain card.
So that his like left or right bottom number, it gets lower. How's that make you feel, morbid Murph? Ah!
I don't give a shit.
Does that give you a raging
Awesome.
hard on to know that his health is dropping numerically?
Let me check. No, it doesn't.
Well, shit. Well, I'm out of ideas.
I have a. I
I've
do
got a
have
bit of a
question.
niche down there, but that's about it.
Scott,
There's
go.
pills
Scott,
to
what
take
were
care
you
of
saying?
that.
So for
There's
the
a
like,
cream too, actually.
for the PvP
The cream
aspect
works
to
better.
it, is there like skill matching, or is it can you just get thrown against anyone?
There is ranking. Basically, how it works is kind of like StarCraft, where you'll play
Okay.
and based on how much you win against certain players, they'll rank you in different ways.
Okay, so it's like if I started playing, I'm not gonna get put against like
No.
people who've been playing the game since it came out.
One
No.
thing Blizzard is
Unless-
really, really good at is its laddering
Really
system.
hardcore smurfing.
Yeah, unless someone's smurfing real bad, which actually happened to be. Well, I guess they weren't smurfing, but
Or like
Unless
making new
someone-
accounts and stuff.
yeah, or just dropping their main account and then starting back up from the top. But yeah, Blizzard is really good with their laddering system. I mean, StarCraft, if you start playing it, it'll match you up against someone who sucks just as much as you. Same with
Yep.
Hearthstone. Heroes apparently is pretty good with that. Like it's getting better. WoW, I don't know how that works. And Diablo's
Diablo
not.
3 laughs at that.
Yeah, exactly. Just like PvP. What's that? I haven't heard that since E3 2011.
That's funny because there's actually PvP in the game. Way to keep up.
Is there?
with it, bro.
I
Yes.
have not played Diablo in a while. Sorry, Brandon.
It's been in for a while before the expansion, I believe.
I don't know what PvP is.
Player versus
Player
player.
versus
player
player.
versus player.
And I thought it was
Oh.
Protoss versus Protoss.
Oh my
There's
god. here we
Protoss
go.
and Diablo. Okay,
Jesus!
you're getting.
You
getting
guys
away from
can't
that.
use these fucking
Jacob,
short
you haven't
forms
played in a
around here.
long time.
So yeah, that's how that works, Scott.
Okay.
So yeah, that is one. There's one topic we can put in the pros. Very good laddering system. If you start playing, it'll put you up against people who you can play against evenly.
But if you don't get past the practice round, like myself, then you will never experience the
You don't have to
quote
worry about
unquote
that then.
joy and pleasure of Hearthstone.
Joy and pleasure. Anything else you guys want to bring up that's cool and interesting?
Well, I don't think, like, if you don't care about something, it's hard to make someone care. So, like, if you don't care about Hearthstone, continue not caring. That's completely valid. You
Excellent.
can continue doing that.
Well, no, I don't want to approach it from that aspect. Like, obviously, we're probably not going to convince Mike because he doesn't like these kinds of games. Like, it's a turn-based strategy card game. We had him over recently, and we all decided to bring Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't think I've ever seen Mike so unhappy.
I
mean-
didn't even I literally didn't bring anything except for alcohol. That's all I brought.
That's all you
So
need.
bad for you. And then myself, because I got into an impossible game with Brandon, who had way better cards. It took us 20 minutes, and I was just slowly losing the entire time. I'm like, why did we bring
Did we
these?
actually finish that, or did we just give up?
You eventually got rid of my Goro turtle.
I'm pretty sure.
Jesus Christ!
Didn't Max beat you in 2 seconds?
No, Taylor beat me in his first fucking turn. I was over at his
I know it
place.
didn't.
I was over at his place, and I was playing some of his old style decks, and he played
GX.
his really not the newest ones, but one of the newest decks, and it wasn't even that good. He beat me in the first turn. It was ridiculous.
It was from Zex.
Well, I mean, they
Stupid.
especially with Yu-Gi-Oh. What I noticed is them newer monsters, they might not even been powerful, but they had stupid, ridiculous effects that just made them way better than all of the original cards that were out.
You will have to talk to Taylor later because it got insane. But talking Hearthstone, not Yu-Gi-Oh.
Same thing.
It's close though. I mean, you can kind of relate.
Same shit.
No.
Can I
both
explain
card
why I
games.
don't like it?
Yeah, they're both card games, right?
Okay, Mike can go. Go, Mike.
I want to. Okay, I'm gonna try
To be
and
nice.
explain why I don't like I don't
please,
like
please.
Hearthstone.
I really want to discuss this.
Okay, well, number one, I don't want to be a bitch, but card games, they're goddamn boring.
But what about Cards Against Humanity?
Well, okay, that
That's a
that
party
is good.
game. That's not
a
even a
good one.
card game.
It is a card game.
That kind of falls into another category.
Does it? It's a card game.
No.
You use cards.
It
No
really
other
does.
card game involves a big black dick.
A
Oh
bleep.
my god.
A big black dick.
I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh
A
got
bigger,
weird at
blacker bit.
sometimes.
Yeah, there's some pretty strange
Some
pictures on
interesting
those
looking
cards.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards, yeah. But yeah, Mike.
Gross. Okay, well, anyways, that's I'm okay for the strategy game, but it has to be I don't know, basically you're just sitting there watching your cards smash up against each other, and that's as much input you get from the game.
As much penis to penis as you get.
He wants visceral action.
Yeah.
I'm like fucking Michael Bay over here. Sure, when you defeat your enemy, they explode and shit, but I'm like, I want to see some knives and some eyeballs and
Basically,
blades coming out of the hands and shit.
when a card hits another card and it doesn't explode into fireballs and viscera, Mike's out.
Well, it's just so I don't know. It's too simple for me. I think that's the problem. It's too simple. It's very linear, and I appreciate the strategy and the thought, and it takes a while to actually be good at the game. As Taylor said earlier in the game, there's a lot of strategy, but it's a
Learning.
bit of both. Yeah, it's a lot of learning, and I do believe there was a comment about horseshoes up the ass, and I would have to
Luck.
agree with
There
that.
is an element
But-
of luck. A huge element of
Definitely. But
Which is why I don't play it, because I have no luck.
I feel like
I know. I've seen your dice rolls.
luck. Every time you play a game, god damn it.
You could probably build a deck based on having horrible luck.
Really?
Maybe. Well, let's find out.
Let's not
You don't
say we
understand.
did.
He would build that, and then he would not draw any of the cards he actually needs.
Then we can
To
work
be
around
bad
that
at.
fact.
Just all Chillwind Yetis all the time.
A deck of 2 cards.
Just give me a random deck, and then that'll probably be the best thing
Goblins
that could ever happen.
and Gnomes is your expansion.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess there isn't much to discuss because Mike just doesn't like that type of game. It's as simple as that.
It's just I don't know. It didn't feel like it didn't grab me to play more. Every single fucking battle's going to be like this. Okay. So
the
bye.
excitement from Hearthstone comes from being clever and beating your opponent, or something ridiculous randomly happening.
That's
but-
probably why I don't care.
Yeah, but for you, what you find fun, I'm assuming, is just the more movie cinematic elements, like Michael Bay, explosions and like awesome sword fights and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
that's what you're after when you're playing games.
It's yeah.
What I want to
Hearth-
ask, sorry,
It's very static.
yes, very much so.
That's what it is.
It's not. There isn't a constant flow of action. It's my turn. Okay, my minion hits
Your turn.
and go. Oh, and they played fireball. Okay, and it's just.
You guys play Hearthstone slowly.
But what I wanted to ask Mike was: Are there any games? Are there any strategy-like games, like Hearthstone or StarCraft or anything like that, that you find interesting, or is it all predominantly action games and shooters and stuff like that?
Solitaire is fun. Bejeweled is not so bad either. I mean, there are some explosions of the jewels and shit. But no.
Okay.
No.
Well, then, in that case, the conversation's kind of mute.
Yeah.
Mike just doesn't like these types of games. So I guess we can close out the podcast by saying... Oh, wait, Tyler.
Well, we didn't get to the best part of Hearthstone.
Which
the core,
is-
key, bestest part, and that is...
Clicking on the sideboard.
No. It is the card flavor text. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And if you will let me, I would like to read you some.
These are very good. So basically, while Taylor's bringing them up, it's every card...
They're up. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
So while we're waiting for Taylor, when you click on your collection and you click on a card...
He had it preloaded.
Like on the bottom of Pokemon cards, if you remember, it'll say like, Squirtle likes to live in the ocean. Its innocent eyes can seduce anyone. Stuff like that. So
Wow, what? I need to go back and play Pokemon. Shit.
Squirtle, the horror of the Pokemon universe.
I thought it was Tentacool.
I thought it was literally Ditto. Come on, guys.
Those are all gross but hilarious answers.
Oh, you don't know how.
If you
right
don't know
Taylor is.
what Pokemon are, that just sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But
It's just a bunch of words.
yeah, so with Hearthstone, most of them are very funny. So Taylor, take it away.
So our first one we'll start off is Keeper of the Grove. His flavor text is, these guys just show up and start keeping your groves without even asking. Assholes.
What the fuck is a grove?
A
It's like-
garden.
Yeah,
A
Yeah.
grove?
yeah, you
Is
never
it
heard
gar-
that word?
That's a word.
I've never heard of that word before in my life. I learned something today, guys. Out of this podcast, I learned something.
today.
And then we have the Mistress of Pain. Her sister is the Mistress of Pain, who sells windows and shower doors. We have Reincarnate. It's like birth, except you're an adult, and you were just dead a second ago.
Can you read Trogzar's?
That was the next one, actually. Trogzor, the Earthinator. He keeps earthinating the countryside despite attempts to stop him.
Okay.
Shadow Word Death. If you miss, it leaves a lightning bolt-shaped scar on your target.
Harry
recommend-
Potter.
Going through the card list and just reading the flavor text.
They're
It is some good times. They have
really
some
good.
really nice references. Like
Yeah.
the card Crackle, which its flavor text is, snap this card pop.
You say Craggle?
Crackle.
It's not the
Snap
Craggle?
This card crackle.
Pop.
Pop.
Oh, whatever the fuck.
God damn it,
But-
Mike, you ruined everything!
I'm sorry! Oh my god!
You ruined Hearthstone, like this podcast.
Excellent. Good. It was a shit game anyway.
Oh, shots fired.
Shots
Boom.
fired.
Thank you for the input, Scott.
The bomb has dropped.
Okay.
Ain't no
So-
Michael
Citizens
Bay
burn
podcast. There's no
alive.
bombs here.
One thing I want to mention, because I don't think we did mention it, all the cards in Hearthstone are based off World of Warcraft. I mean, the Warcraft franchise, but mostly World of Warcraft.
It's because we're not saying the subtitle, which is Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
Yes.
It should be implied.
Yeah. Everything in the game is taken from the Warcraft lore.
Which is why it has such a strong art style and such, as what I thought you were originally going to go
Yes,
with when
yeah.
you said art style. It's because they had so much to draw from Warcraft, since it's 20 years old at this point.
Yeah, Warcraft has been around for a surprisingly long time, but yeah, the art style, like specifically the art, is all drawn from Warcraft, which has a very distinct, like, the women are usually wafy, the dudes are huge, and they have big swords and big armor.
Sometimes the women's are huge.
And some of the women are huge as well.
Some of the guys are actually kind of scrawny too. And there are zombies. And then there are gnomes. It's a lot of things.
Anyways, yeah, I guess that's Hearthstone, and I think we can start wrapping it up by saying what we most remember from our time playing Hearthstone. So, Scott, we'll start with you. P.S. Everyone start thinking of things.
Except you, Scott. You don't get time to think.
Scott,
Yeah, I know.
I'll-
The one person who hasn't touched the game at
Scott,
all.
I'll
We're gonna
ask
start with you.
I'll ask you, from what we've talked about, would you be interested in playing this game?
I don't know. I mean,
You
That's a no.
used to play Magic, and, like, we used to play card games all the time, but
yeah,
are you still interested
But-
in those at all?
but not really. I don't know. Especially like I'd be more interested in like playing a physical card game than playing a card game on the internet. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Like, I feel like I'd rather just like, physically play a card game with someone than play it on my computer. Like when I could be playing other games on my computer.
No,
That's just
that makes perfect sense.
I can
like
relate
it's
to
not.
that.
It's not anything against the game in itself. It's just me.
No, that makes perfect sense. So we'll move on to Mike. From your very brief time playing Hearthstone, because we all know you're not going to go back to it. We've established that. But do you have any memories, fond or otherwise, of it?
I remember.
Flying in the air that night.
Yeah. I'm not fucking Phil Collins or whoever that was.
Phil Collins.
Was it? I don't know.
The Dirty Burger.
Mustard Tiger. No, there was a point in the game where I hit the home screen and then it closed. I think that was my favorite part.
Oh.
Brandon, what was your favorite part about Hearthstone? Or what's your favorite memory of Hearthstone so far? Can I drop Mike from the conversation? Do I have that power yet?
You might as well.
You didn't drop him during the Nintendo conversation. You're not going to drop him now.
This person. Brandon.
Well, it's got to be playing with people that I know. I'm not a big fan of playing these kind of games with, like, just
Randos.
against computer. What?
I like
Do you
computers.
play? I said randos, not brandos.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, sorry.
But I want to ask: have you played very much like of the arena or free to play or
No.
arena?
No.
So you just play like versus computers?
Pretty much. Or if I can get, like, I guess you to play,
Yeah.
which is not very often.
We can play more.
Well, it's because I don't play often.
Yes. I can just make more ridiculous decks. Please play with me.
No.
But yeah, do you have any specific memories of it?
No, not really. Honestly.
What?
I mean,
You
it's
don't-
not like a. What?
Oh.
You don't distinctly remember when I creamed you with my gimmick deck?
No.
Because I do. I remember it often.
Cream is
Makes
a
me feel
dirty
good.
word.
It's almost
You
like
know,
he's
it
going
was
to
like
talk about
a
it
couple
in a
days
moment.
ago, right?
Oh, so
Scott, you were saying?
yeah. So you said like
Stop
you
reading
can,
Pokemon and spit out the question.
No, I'm thinking. Listen. All right.
Stop
So
making moat with your boyfriend.
Oh.
So you said you
in here. It sounds
So you get-
like. Sorry,
Yes,
Scott.
we
what
can
were you
all
saying?
reference things.
so I hate you guys so much.
No, you.
So you unlock or not unlock, but you can unlock like cards by just playing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Like
So
I
I
said,
guess
I haven't spent single
So,
cent.
like, loophole would just be like boosting games with your friends, right?
No.
No.
You have to
Can't get
complete...
gold with friends.
Yeah.
No?
You have to be playing against other people.
What do you mean? Like,
random
Your friends
people.
aren't people, is what he's saying.
Yeah. He's saying they're all fake.
You guys are all part of my imagination, right?
You have to play their matchmaking system to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
but is there any way to like loophole it into getting match made against your friends?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
The only loophole was botting, which was basically getting a program to play for you, and just like leaving it on overnight, so that it would like, even if it won only 15% of its games, it still won when you were sleeping. But yeah, there was no loophole like that.
Okay. I was just curious because if like I imagine if that was a thing, a lot of people would do it. Like
They probably
just like
would.
it's just like any boosting in any other game.
But Blizzard wants to make money, so they stopped that.
That's good.
Losers.
Right?
I'm so evil. Yeah. Fuck.
Okay.
Taylor, if we can just erase that picture from your minds. Taylor, what do you remember about Hearthstone?
Okay. I'm not going to go into a strict memory. I'm going to talk about a topic that Scott brought up that we haven't actually discussed, and that it is, like, Hearthstone is a digital card game, and that's very different for a card game. And they can do different things than an actual physical card game can.
Yes.
And they play to those strengths, and it's like, yes! And that's a really cool design, that they are aware that since they're digital, they can do crazy things that you can't do in a physical card game.
Exactly. Actually, I completely forgot to bring that up. You're right.
Good job, Scott.
Scott, you did it. You did a thing.
Hey.
Go back to breeding Sessuines.
Wait, who's breeding? I'm beating the shit out of these guys.
I'm assuming you're watching Pokemon have sex. That's my default for you.
Why? Because
yeah.
I've done it? I mean, what?
Well, we don't know that Pokemon actually have sex. We just leave two Pokemon and then they find an egg.
And they don't know how it happened still.
Yeah, we don't know that they do the deed.
I'm
they
just
an
gonna
egg
link
appears.
r/pokeporn to you.
Oh, God.
And
You
I'll
have
just,
it
and I'll
favorited,
continue
don't
talking
you,
while
Jake?
you stare in horror.
That is like what people theorize it is. We don't know for sure.
Just look up what is under Diglett. Anyways,
No, look up Hot Whale Alert on Skitty Action, because that's a thing.
Oh, my God.
anyways, I had a point. Hold on. Basically, all other card games really
Suck.
that are
What?
online are usually versions of a physical card game, like the bigger ones, like
Magic!
Magic, Pokemon.
And
is
there's
on there now.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon.
Yeah, so they're all based on the physical versions, whereas Hearthstone is like the first really big, completely digital card game, and like Taylor said, it lets them bring in elements that normal card games can't do, like cards that say, when you play this minion, transform another minion into a random card, or another random minion of the same cost. Which, like,
I'd just like to clarify for 1 second. When you say first 100% digital, so there's no like actual hard copy version of the cards.
what I mean is, like, it's the first, because I'm sure there are other card
First
games that are
successful.
just digital, like they never had a physical version. But Hearthstone is like the first really big one. Like there's no physical version of Hearthstone.
I think what
Okay,
Mike is saying is
okay.
there's no Hearthstone cards, right?
Yes, there was a World of Warcraft card game, which like
Completely different.
kind of influenced Hearthstone, but they're completely separate. And I'm
No,
pretty sure it's
it
discontinued. The
It
old
is
Warcraft game.
nothing the same.
Yeah. But
I'm getting mixed signals from you two.
yeah, no, they're completely
I talk
separate.
with my hands.
That's not what I meant.
That's the only signal that sends to anyone. But yeah, so it lets Hearthstone do random stuff, like completely
Do-do?
random stuff. It lets
Crazy,
Hearthstone
zany things.
do.
Doo-doo. You said doo-doo.
I did say do.
Doo-doo.
This is why you're on the podcast.
That's the best part of the fucking podcast so far.
Doo-doo?
Says
Yeah.
Norbert Murph.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
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 So yeah. Hearthstone can do
Yeah.
completely random things that a
Off the
traditional
wall,
card game can't
zany
do.
things.
So like you can't have like every single card in the game just as a sideboard in case one of your cards has a random effect that brings it in, right?
Also, another thing about that is that if a card is imbalanced, a physical card game says you can't use that, and they actually just give you a new
Banners.
card that's nerfed.
Yeah.
But in Hearthstone, they're able to be like, okay, we can actually balance the stats of this card and change it.
Yeah.
And
Quite
so
a
that you
few-
can
quite a
still
few
use the
cards.
card, it's just different.
Yeah,
That's
quite a
true,
few
yeah.
cards already. Like there was a strategy with a card called Starving Buzzard, which was a certain class which let you do with a certain combo of another card, let you draw like just a huge amount of cards. That was recently nerfed. They just changed the mana cost of it, so you can play it later. So it wasn't like, oh, like on turn 5 I can play this, and then like I get a whole bunch of cards, and it makes it a little broken.
They
Like 4
also
moves.
changed the stats and health of it.
Like
You should have
4.
probably gone with Gadgets and Auctioneer.
Yeah, that's the most recent one, which was another one which lets you draw cards.
where they literally just up the mana by 1.
Yeah, and that was enough. And now it's not quite. I mean, it wasn't broken before, but it was very strong, which they
Have
just
you
kind of.
played against Rogue?
No, because I play in lower tiers.
Because all the rogues are higher, so you don't get to play them.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so Taylor, that was your memory of Hearthstone. I quite have
Yes.
to agree. I mean, like I said, I play Hearthstone a lot. It fills my StarCraft need, although I do have to get back to StarCraft at some point, because I really like strategy games. But the one
Legacy
memory,
of the Void comes out. Go
soon,
for it.
I want that really bad. But what I wanted to bring up was my memory from way at the beginning of this podcast. I mentioned a crazy game story that I want to mention now. I was recently playing on the new expansion, and I was playing Arena, and there's a certain card called I believe the Goblin Shredder, or the Piloted Shredder, I believe it's called.
Yeah, the weak version, the medium version, or the legendary
The
version?
4 cost that drops a 2.
Okay, the weak version.
Yes. So that one. I had that in my Arena deck. So I had a full board, a full-ish board, full of like 2 1s, a 3/2, a couple other cards, and the Piloted Shredder, which was my strongest attack minion. And I was starting to beat on this wizard, or not wizard, sorry, priest. So I had pretty total board control. He had 2 minions on the field, weak ones at that, and I used my Piloted Shredder to take out his stronger minion. And what pops out of the Goblin Shredder? Doomsayer. So, I will explain to you what Doomsayer does in a second. So, that was at the very end of my turn. Like, that was literally the last move I made, so I have no other options. And what Doomsayer does is, the text reads, on the start of your turn, destroy all minions. So you would usually put this card in your deck as board clear if your opponent gets too strong. It has very high health, so it's hard to defeat. And if it lasts a turn and it comes back to you, it'll wipe the board for you, which is good. Not in this case, because I had a full board and the opponent had basically nothing. So he got free attacks on my face to my health because of these. And then as soon as my turn started, all my creatures die. So yeah, I was really excited about this new Goblins vs. Gnome card. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna drop anything. It doesn't matter. I mean, it'll always be good. No, it dropped the one card out of all the 2-cost cards that kicked me in the ass. I did end up winning that round, but I had like 4 health by the end of it. It was brutal. So yeah, that's how I remember Hearthstone. Just craziness happens all the time, and you have to really think on your feet, Taylor, in order to pull out a win. And also be lucky. You do have to be lucky. So, I think that wraps up our Hearthstone podcast.
Hey!
Awesome. Okay, so...
Good contribution, Scott. Hey!
Brandon, he almost did as much as you did.
He did.
Oh!
because I don't play Hearthstone.
Played
Oh
more
right,
than
sorry.
me.
Scott was the one that played Hearthstone. Brandon, you haven't touched it.
No, it was the other way around.
It was the other way around.
Scott was the one who had never touched it.
Way to confuse your friends, Jacob.
Shut up.
Don't
Mike.
worry,
does
that's
what-
why you have people to clarify.
He does want to go. He is like abandoning us to go watch The Hobbit by himself, like for real.
Not by myself.
No, I don't want to.
By
I don't want to
my
go see it
other
with my
friends.
friends. I don't want to go see it with my friends.
Anyways, I think we
Dick.
can move on to
Right?
what we'll be playing next week, which I think
Oh,
we
fuck.
kind of decided, kind of not. It was going to be a scary game. Let's do this live. Fuck it, let's do it live. Do you guys want to do Dead Space, Resident Evil, or another game?
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
I'm
I
saying
don't
Resident
care.
Evil.
That's
So I
already
got
3 out of
Resident
5.
Evils. Taylor, 5 Resident Evils. Okay, so
I've
we're going to be
played
doing
5.
Resident Evil. We'll be doing the whole franchise in one shot. But from now on, unless we have really good reason to, like with Resident Evil, we're going to be trying to split up franchises into separate
Single
episodes.
podcast.
Section.
But for Resident Evil, because there's only, I want to say 3 of us who've actually played it, and they're all fairly similar, we'll just do it in one shot. So yeah, we'll be doing Resident Evil. Also, to our listeners, if you guys have any suggestions for future episodes or comments about Hearthstone, or any of our other
Hard stones.
hard stones. If you have any suggestions about hard stones, please leave it in our comments.
Go.
I will work on an email for the show that you can send it to, but for now, YouTube comments will suffice. Do you guys have anything to say for yourselves, Scott?
Maybe I'll try this game out.
I think you'd like it. It's cool. Unless you
I don't
haven't-
think you should waste your time.
Mike, do you have anything in particular to say about anything?
As expected.
Oh, okay.
That was wet.
Cool. Brandon, do you have anything to say?
I don't have a whole lot to say, no.
Great.
I mean, that was about it. That's all I had to say.
I feel like Mike really covered it.
I'm pretty sure I summed it up right there.
Yeah. You might say you covered it in shit. You summoned.
It does smell
shit
like someone
monster.
defecated themselves. Yeah.
I'm always the antagonist in all of these fucking things.
Good.
Shit.
It suits you. No, it honestly
Well,
doesn't.
I mean-
I'm
I'm
pretty
just-
sure
I'm-
it's always you.
I mean,
You'll
I'm
be the
actually
hero
just,
of Resident Evil.
So,
Taylor,
when we
do
talk
you- do
about
you have
Resident
anything
Evil,
to say?
are we
And by
gonna
that I
include
mean,
the
do you have
movies?
something to talk about your channel?
I think we should talk. Scott.
I actually didn't know the podcast was still going. I thought it ended. I have a channel. It's called Views and Throughs. It's with me and my friends. You guys should check it out. There's games on it. There's going to be reviews. There's going to be more stuff. Hopefully, someday we'll get to that.
Is
There
there
is-
porn?
Like you said last time,
No.
there is both
Damn.
views and throughs on it now. So,
Yes,
Mike,
living the dream.
all that YouTube money that we don't make. Mike, do you want to revisit your previous statement?
Okay.
It's gonna just be wetter this time, isn't it?
I was lubing up my lips. No.
Good God.
No, Morbid Murph. I don't know what game I'm doing next. I think I'm actually going to do like an actual game review.
Like Resident Evil.
No, it's just so bad.
He wants to be known as a positive guy, not this guy who just hates everything.
I want to be.
Resident Evil 4,
Yeah,
that was good.
exactly.
Resident Evil
The
5.
cynical Murph.
Yeah, like, tell me what the fucking game name is after I just bought it and I put it in my Xbox and I looked at the disc and it said Resident Evil 5 on the disc and I put it in my Xbox and then it goes ahead and tells me what the fuck the name of the game is that I'm
Maybe
playing when I
you're
press
blind,
start.
Mike.
Is he
Maybe you
complaining
can't
about
see the
title
game you just
screens
bought.
now?
That was a pet peeve of mine just starting the game. It's like Resident Evil
5.
Yeah, I know what fucking game I put in the Xbox. Holy shit! Shut the fuck up.
Well, sometimes you're like really drunk and you don't actually know until the game starts and you're like, oh fuck, thank
Oh,
God.
this is the one I was playing.
Oh,
I
thank
didn't
God
know
I
this
put
was
the
an
right
awful
disc in.
one. Yeah.
I'll just save this aggression for when we actually review Resident Evil
Yeah.
5. Or, well, the
All of
entire
The
Resident
entire
Evil
series.
franchise
So
in
some of
one
them are
shot.
actually good. But yeah.
Okay, well,
but
I have
a
yet
bit
to
of a
see a good
preview-
Resident Evil game.
a bit of a
Resident Evil
preview
2 wasn't bad.
on next week's episode.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Morbid Murph is gonna be mad.
Because we're talking about this fucking piece of shit
He's the
game.
antagonist.
Yes. I might as well just change my fucking name to the antagonist,
Antagonist
for Christ's
Mike.
sake.
Instead
the
of
antagonist.
instead of the completionist.
That's
the
not
antagonist.
illiterate.
Yes. Well,
Change your name to Adam. Antagonist Adam.
Anyways.
what? So it could be AA,
Yeah.
A squared.
Yeah, you gotta be illiterate.
You can be
Alliteration,
M
man.
squared. Oh my God.
I'm not changing my name.
M squared.
My math teacher wanted me to sign my name as M squared in high school. I was just like, fuck off.
That's dumb.
Yeah, no. No.
Anything
teacher
I will
thought
be
it was
doing
cool.
will hopefully probably be on this channel. I am contemplating maybe starting another channel separate from this that'll be focused on like kind of like narrative stories that I can make in games, but we'll see.
It's actually a rival channel.
I will be off the podcast if that happens. It will be completely up to Brandon to do the podcast.
Well, we're fucked.
And
Penthouse Forum.
yep, there you go. But yes.
Yeah, we'd be boned if it was up to me.
We change it to Austin Land, where we just talk about Jane Austen novels.
That
I don't know what
already
that is.
exists.
Yes.
But yes. So yeah,
I'd probably
that's-
change it to something like beer something.
The beer drinkers.
What if Jane Austen
And we would just sit
drank
here and
more
talk about
beers?
things. Yeah, and we would all drink beer.
In
Wait, we
short,
don't-
you, dear listeners, you're very, very fortunate that I'm still here, and I don't plan on going anywhere. I think we'll wrap up the podcast right now by
Okay.
saying,
Yeah, wrap it up.
yeah, next week
Don't be
we're
silly.
playing
wrap
Resident
it
Evil.
silly.
Go check out Morbid Murph and Views and Throughs. Keep watching
We're
Resident
going
Evil
to be
podcast.
playing Resident Evil for the podcast.
No,
Yeah, we'll be playing
You
Resident
said.
Evil during the podcast.
That's what you
no,
said.
I never said that. I don't know
You
what
said-
you're talking
you said
about.
next week we'll be playing Resident Evil. That's what you
Why?
said.
You're hearing things. Scott, I think you're blind. Anyways, have fun and good luck.